In this video, we're going to be looking at logical operators. So logical operators are used to they combine two or more Boolean expressions and return a Boolean value of true or false. So in the last video, we were able to look at expressions that return Boolean values, expressions that either return a true or a false. We use the comparison operator to be able to write those expressions. So logical operators are used to combine two or more of those expressions to be able to, and they return a true or false depending on what the statement evaluates to. So we can see we have three logical operators here. We have the AND operator, we have the logical OR operator, this is how it's written, and we have the logical NOT operator. We saw the NOT operator a lot in one of the previous videos where we saw when we had not equal to. So I guess you should already know the meaning of the NOT operator. So let's see what the AND operator does. So if I have, let's refresh our, so let's bring in our variables. Okay, so we have num1, num2 as we've been using before. So we saw in the previous videos that if you have something like num1 is greater than num2, you see we have a false here. But if you say num1 is greater than or equal to num2, then we have a true, because it will check if num1 is greater than or if num1 is equal to num2. So in this case they are equal, so we have a true. Okay, so let's say we want to check if num1 is greater than, let's say we want to have a range of values. We want to have a range of values between 20 and 60. So we don't want to have something less than 20, and we don't want to have something less than, something more than 60. So it should be between 20 and 60. So we have defined a range of values. So how do we write an expression to be able to get those values? So we have num1 and want to check if num1 is within the range of 20 to 60. It shouldn't be less than 20 and it shouldn't be more than 60. So in that case, we are going to say num1 is greater than or equal to 20. That's the lower boundary. So from 20 and above, we have a true. So we can see already a true here because num1 here is 30. So if we say num1 is greater than or equal to 20, then this statement is true because num1 is 30. Then to check for the upper boundary, we introduce AND here and said num1 is less than or equal to 60. So remember, we want the two numbers to be included. So 20 is valid, 60 is valid. So that's why we're using less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So if we don't want them to be inclusive, we can just say num1 is greater than 20 and num1 is less than 60. Okay, so the most important thing here is the AND operator, the logical AND operator. So the operator, as you can see here, combines these two expressions. So we have two expressions here. num1 is greater than or equal to 20, and the second expression is num1 is less than or equal to 60. So this expression, the overall expression here, will return true if both expressions evaluate to true. So if this evaluates to true and this evaluates to true, then we will have true as a final result. So that's what the logical AND operator does. So we can see we already have a true here. But if one of these or two of these are false, then we will have a false as a result. So if let's say we have something like, let's change this now to so it's greater than or equal to 20 and it's less than or equal to, let's say we want our values to be between 20 and 25. Now in this case you can see we have a false because num1 is greater than or equal to 20, but num1 is not less than or equal to 25. So this will evaluate to true, but this will evaluate to false. So we have a false as a final result. So that's what the AND operator does. So it checks the two values and the two must evaluate to true. It checks the two expressions and the two must evaluate to true. So if one of them or the two of them evaluates to false, then we have false as a final result. The next operator is the logical OR operator. The OR operator is used to check if one of the values in the expressions are true, then we have the final result will be true. So if we change this statement now to OR like this, then you can see we have true. So the same statement checking the same expressions. So we have two expressions here. So when we combine the two expressions with AND operator, we had a false as a final result. But using the OR operator, we have true as a final result. That's because the OR operator is not as strict as the AND operator. So the AND operator insists that the two values, the two expressions must evaluate to true to have a true as a final result. But the OR operator, in the OR operator, once one of the values evaluates to true, in this case we can see this particular expression evaluates to true, so we have the final result to be true, even though this evaluates to false. So we are saying num1 is greater than or equal to 20, or num1 is less than or equal to 25. So in this case, one of these evaluates to true, and then we have a true. So you can only get a false if the two expressions evaluate to false. So that's on this situation where you get a false. So for instance, if we say num1 is greater than or equal to let's say 40, or num1 is less than, let's say 60. Now we have a true, right? Because sorry, we wanted to have a false. Okay, so this statement is true, so that's why we have it true. Okay, so let's check with another. So num1 is greater than or equal to 40, or num1 is less than, okay, since we want to use a less than, let's still combine. Let's say num1 is greater than let's say 100, right? So in this case we have false because num1 is not greater than or equal to 40. Num1 is 30, so 30 is not greater than or equal to 40, and num1 is not greater than 100, so we have false because both statements evaluate to false. Then the last operator, the last logical operator, is the logical NOT, the NOT operator. So the NOT operator gives the opposite of the final answer. So it is used with Boolean expressions. So when you have a Boolean expression like this, it can either be like this or like the ones we saw in the comparison operators. So both the comparison operators and this logical operator return Boolean values. So use them with expressions that return a Boolean value. So if an expression returns a true, then if you use a NOT operator, it will return a false. If an expression returns a false, if you use a Boolean operator, then we will have true. So in this case, we have false as our final result. Then let's use the NOT operator and see the final result we get. So we have a true here. Since we have two expressions, to be able to use the NOT operator on the two results, then we can do this. Let's put this in brackets. So we'll put our NOT operator here and surround this with bracket. Okay, so we can see that the statement returned false here, up here, but here we have a true. So the NOT operator gives you the opposite of your expression. So if your expression was supposed to be true, then we have false. If it was supposed to be false, we have true. So in this case, our expression was supposed to be false, and then we have true here. Well, we can also use it with single values. So if I don't put this in brackets, so if I do something like this, so let's say not greater than or equal to 14. Now this not is only going to be applied to this statement, so that's why we put it, we had to include this statement in a bracket. So if you are trying to compare or to use the not on more than one statement, then you have to include the statement or the expressions in a bracket. So in this case, we want to use the not operator on just this expression and not all the expressions are combined together. So we have false. Okay, so we have false. It's okay. So num not equal to, num is not greater than or equal to 14. Let's see, 30. Okay, so this is supposed to evaluate to true. Let's check something. Okay, so we have to use it like this. That's because when you say not num here, not num1, you actually this not num1 here, not num1 also returns a Boolean expression. Okay, so not num1 returns a Boolean expression. We are going to look at that later when we are treating true and false statements. So just know that this also is an expression. So when you do this, it's more like you are taking false and saying false is greater than or equal to 40. So that's why we had false here. So you have to surround this with bracket as well. So we can use this not operator on this single expression or this one, or we can use it on all the expression by surrounding everything with brackets. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.